Good morning, all. All of us have heard opportunity knocks the door only once. But what if opportunity doesn't knocks at all? Yes, the solution is to build a door. Remember that failure is an event, not a person. Yesterday ended last night only. The very ink with which history is written is merely fluid prejudice. The best way to protect yourself is to be as fluid and formless as water. Never bet on stability or lasting order. Everything changes. With these quotes, I, Dr. Akanksha Sinha, Manager Innovation, ACIC IIT ISM Foundation, welcome you all to the fourth session of Summer School Boot Camp organized by ACIC IIT ISM Foundation. Atal Community Innovation Center, ACIC IIT ISM Foundation have been launched to encourage a spirit of entrepreneurship in the unserved regions of India by providing enabling infrastructure and facilitating environment for innovation. All the three sessions that we have conducted so far were focused to sharpen your managerial skills. While this session onwards, the speakers will tend to groove your technical skills. So, we have with us today Professor Ajit Kumar to tell us how the fluid power system is an opportunity for tech-savvy entrepreneurs in an uncapped business. Dr. Ajit Kumar is presently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT ISM Dhanbad, with 10 years of extensive teaching and research experience, with focus on industrial applications and machinery design and development. Prior to this, he served as assistant manager at various capacities in Milupara Underground Coal Mine, MIEL, Raigarh, Chhattisgarh. He was one of the key members of Underground Man Riding System Installation Project team at Milupara Underground Coal Mine. He was also involved in the planning of sump area, mine pump installation, and laying of haulage tracks. His multidisciplinary expertise includes fluid power and control, fluid power engineering, machine design and maintenance, mining machinery, material behavioral engineering, fluid power system optimization and policy. He is having good understanding of process for scaling technology from laboratory to industry. At present, he is also serving as coordinator innovation at IIT ISM Dhanbad and head of strategy execution NVCTI. For his extraordinary contribution in technological advancements and teaching career, he was acknowledged with numerous awards. I-20R Bright Researcher Award, IEI Jharkhand Engineering Excellence Award, Best Young Scientist, Engineer MP via National Award, Young Researcher Republic Day Achievers Award, Best Research Paper Award, Engineers Day. He has also published more than 50 research papers in peer-reviewed journals and they are national as well as international. He is presently engaged in 3R and AMP-D projects sanctioned by DST, Government of India and Coal India Research and Development. He has filed 2 patents in the related area. He has also trained more than 200 executives of Coal India and other industries through various executive development programs. So, without wasting time, I would like Professor Ajit to please take over the session. In the meanwhile, I request all the participants to please mute yourself, and whenever if you any query strikes to your mind, you can raise your hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akanksha, for a very nice introduction. Before moving forward, I would like to request my participants, please mute your mic and switch off your video so that I can interact with you better. And we will have a short interaction session with each other also. हम लोग एक दूसरे से बात भी करेंगे, दूसरे को समझेंगे, and how to establish a tech-savvy business, that we will also understand. Before moving forward, I would like to request the host to please allow me to share my screen. Yes, thank you. I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir, your screen is visible.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm seeing in the list of participants, many of my students have also joined. So then I will have a good interaction also. So today's topic that we had been discussing upon is the fluid power systems. And these fluid power systems, I will be presenting it as an opportunity for tax-savvy entrepreneurs in an uncapped business. Now about me, Dr. Akanksha has already told, so I need not say anything about me. Now you see the fluid power system, which I will be talking about, is one of the backbone or the muscle power of today's industry. I am calling it as an uncapped business. मैं इसको uncapped business इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ because this particular system I will be discussing, you will get to know in the later slides that why it is being called it as an uncapped business and what are the various opportunities. There is a lot of opportunity in this particular technology. But when we call it as a tech savvy, and if you are going to start a business related to some technological aspects, then you need to understand the basic concept of that particular technical thing. You need to understand the physics of that particular system to start any business. Unless and otherwise, you are not going to know how this system works. You cannot be a successful entrepreneur for that particular system. So this fluid power system that I'll be discussing about, this particular session will be divided into two parts. Please, I request
Participants, please mute yourself. Otherwise, you will not be able to hear properly. Please mute yourself.
मैं सभी से आग्रह करता हूँ कि प्लीज अपने आप को म्यूट रखें so that I may not get disturbed in between. It's a humble request to all of you. So I was telling that this fluid power system is basically the muscle power of any industry. Now, before moving on to that, I was telling that this particular session is basically divided into two parts. In the first half, we will be discussing about the technical aspects of this fluid power technology. What is this? And in the second half of this session, we will be discussing about the various business opportunities that we are going to have in this particular session. In between, we will having some tests and we will having some games and we will having interaction with each other to make the session more fruitful. Now, when I'm talking about fluid power technology, we need to understand what is this fluid power. Many of my students who here are, they might be knowing about this fluid power. And many of you may not be knowing about that fluid power. May I request any of my students who can tell me what this fluid power is? कोई जो है यहाँ पे जो fluid power के बारे में बतला सकता है, what is this fluid power technology?
Mr. Anirudh Ghosh, mute yourself. Anirudh Ghosh, yeah.
I request the host to please mute all from their side. Yes, any of my students who is present here, can you please tell me what is this fluid power? It's a very simple question. If I am seeing Amar is here, Amar Singh, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes. Sumit? Okay. So let me tell what this fluid power is. Now, fluid power, it is the technology that deals with the generation, control and transmission of power using pressurized fluids. किसी भी सिस्टम को काम करने के लिए जो मोटी पावर होता है, that motive power is being developed using this fluid power technology. We will see by different examples that what this fluid power is, because हम चीजों को जब आंखों से देखते हैं तो ज्यादा समझते हैं, तो मैं पिक्चर्स के द्वारा भी आपको समझाने की कोशिश करूंगा कि व्हाट दिस फ्लूइड पावर इज। बट फॉर द टाइम, दिस फ्लूइड पावर इज बेसिकली इट इज अ टेक्नोलॉजी that deals with the generation, control and transmission of power using pressurized fluids. Now fluids is present everywhere. हमारे हर चारों तरफ fluids है। Fluids को basically we are dividing into two parts. One is your hydraulics, that is the form of a liquid. Liquid के द्वारा जब हम power transfer करते हैं उसको हम बोलते हैं hydraulics. That is the use of a liquid flowing under pressure. Now power कब ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं हम? जब कोई सिस्टम प्रेशर में हो। Unless and until the system is not in pressure, you cannot transfer the power. I'm just giving you a simple example. एक छोटे से एग्जांपल के द्वारा मैं इसको समझाना चाहूंगा। आप लोगों में से बहुत लोग गार्डनिंग करते होंगे। Many of you must be gardening. जब आप पाइप से पौधों को पानी देते हैं तो यू मस्ट हैव सीन कि आपका प्रेशर है वो बढ़ जाता है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट you will also get more range of that particular water which is being planted. What you are basically doing, you are restricting the path of that flow of water so that you are generating the pressure. जब भी आप किसी चीज में restriction लगाते हैं, basically you are generating the pressure and then that pressure converts into force. Then comes the pneumatics. This is the another fluid that I am talking about, that is the use of a pressurized gas. We are surrounded by gas. We are surrounded by air. Air is a form of gas. So the use of gas flowing under pressure to transmit power from one location to another is the pneumatics. So this fluid power which is used for the transmission of power, इसको हम लोग दो भाग में डिवाइड करते हैं। एक हाइड्रोलिक्स जो कि पूरी तरह से लिक्विड प्रेशराइज्ड लिक्विड पे काम करता है, और दूसरा न्यूमेटिक्स जो कि पूरी तरीके से प्रेशराइज्ड गैस पे काम करता है। Now, why we need to use the fluid power? What is the need? There are many systems which can be used, mechanical systems and electrical systems. Why this fluid power? The first very advantage is multiplication and variation of force. अभी आप देखेंगे जितने लोग भी इंडस्ट्री से रिलेटेड होंगे या R&D फील्ड में या एकेडमिया में भी होंगे, आप देखेंगे कि कोई ऐसा मशीन या सिस्टम नहीं है आज के डेट में जहां पे ये फ्लूइड पावर टेक्नोलॉजी यूज नहीं हो रहा है। नॉट अ सिंगल। सो व्हाट इज द एडवांटेज? व्हाट इज दैट रीजन कि हर जगह हम लोग फ्लूइड पावर यूज कर रहे हैं? दैट इज द मल्टीप्लिकेशन एंड वेरिएशन ऑफ फोर्स। किसी भी मशीन को काम करने के लिए, कोई भी मशीन हो, हमें फोर्स की जरूरत होती है। इवन हमें खुद को काम करवाने के लिए हमें फोर्स की जरूरत होती है। So that multiplication and variation of force will be highly efficiently provided by fluid power. It is very easy and accurate to control. बहुत easily आप fluid power system को control करते हैं। One power source controls many operations. एक single power source से आप different applications use कर सकते हैं using this fluid power. And the most important part, that is high power to low weight ratio. Same force के लिए, if you are using a mechanical system, you need to have a very large equipment, the large shape, heavy weight. But for the same force, let us say 100 Newton force को अगर generate करना है या 100 kg force को generate करना है, उसके लिए जो साइज आप फ्लूइड पावर में यूज करेंगे वो बहुत ही मिनिमल छोटा होगा कंपेयर टू अगर आप किसी मैकेनिकल सिस्टम को यूज करते हैं। जैसे मैकेनिकल में पावर ट्रांसमिट करने के लिए वी यूज द गियर बॉक्सेस। सो फॉर द सेम पावर द वेट एंड द साइज ऑफ द गियर बॉक्स विल बी मोर वेरी लार्ज कंपेयर टू योर फ्लूइड पावर। इवन इलेक्ट्रिकल सिस्टम में उसी पावर को जनरेट करने के लिए यू नीड टू हैव अ हाई वोल्टेज और current capacity of the electric motor, low speed torque, कोई भी सिस्टम काम करता है, बहुत लोग आप लोगों ने पंप मोटर देखा होगा कि मोटर शाफ्ट के साथ कनेक्टेड है। वो जो शाफ्ट जो रोटेट करता है, दैट बेसिकली जनरेट द टॉर्क। टॉर्क कुछ नहीं है, टॉर्क इज ए सिंपल, दैट इज द रोटेशनल फोर्स, the force which is providing you the rotational motion. It is your torque. You are defining that in terms of that particular value. So for the lowest speed you can generate high torque in fluid power system and constant force and torque. Gear जब आप यूज करते हैं, there is a very wide variation of
Please, please mute yourself. There is a technical glitch. Please. We will be starting within 2 minutes. Okay.
लाइट कैसे चला गया?
Please mute yourself. Please. We will be starting within a minute. Please wait for 5 minutes as there is a technical glitch. There is a power cut. So please wait for 5 minutes. Sir will be joining soon.
Yes, the
Am
professor
I
has joined.
am I
Thank you,
audible?
participants, for waiting patiently. Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay, so I'm extremely sorry there was a technical glitch. So sometimes we found some such type of problems in our business also. Anyways, so let us start. So I was discussing about why to use this fluid power. So I had told you that these are the various very important advantages. That's why we use this fluid power system. And apart from that, because the life of human is very, very important. So for that particular purpose, this fluid power is also very advantageous. When you are using the fluid power technology, it is also safe in hazardous environments compared to the other technologies. So the power factor, the multiplication, the ease of control, the high power to low weight ratio, constant force, safe in the hazardous environments make fluid power an efficient technology. Now, हम लोगों ने फ्लूइड पावर के बारे में जाना कि फ्लूइड पावर क्या है, why we use this fluid power, but where it is being used, you will be seeing it in the application part. Now, किसी भी तरीके का machine हो, whatever the types of machine there is, this hydraulics is used to pull, regulate, or drive the machines. Where it is being used? In power automobiles. बहुत लोग कार चलाते होंगे, बहुत लोग बाइक चलाते होंगे. Have you ever wondered why the steering has become so smooth now? Steering को you can rotate with the help of one finger. It is because of this electro-hydraulic system. आप कंपेयर कीजिए पुराने एम्बेसडर कार का. जब आप पुराना एम्बेसडर कार चलाते थे उस समय स्टीयरिंग करने के लिए you need to have a very large amount of force. Nowadays you can rotate your steering 360-degree rotation with the help of one finger. This is what the fluid power technologies plays an important role. This is your fluid power system. You can see here. In the steering, this is your fluid power system. This is the total mechanism. You can see the rotation of this car, how efficiently it is getting rotated. This is what I was talking about. This is the advantage of your fluid power technology. So in power automobiles nowadays, हम लोग बोलते हैं और braking है, this is all power. Steering means what? This is the hydraulics, the fluid power. Launches a spacecraft. Now in the spacecraft also, you can see how it is opening. This is opening with the help of this fluid power technology. Moves the earth. In mining, whatever the machines are there, whether it is an excavator or loading machine or delivery machine, all heavy machines are using this fluid power technology. Without it is not possible to have such a large efficiency of the machines. You can see this is your excavator. जो mining में होंगे, जो mining के field में होंगे, mining area में होंगे, they must be seeing such type of equipment. This is all fluid power technology. You can simply load this machine onto this trailer with the help of this fluid power. This is the biggest advantage that you are getting. The single driver can load this machine on this tractor. This is all the power, the muscle power of fluid power is having. In agricultural sectors, these fluid powers are being used for harvesting and cropping. This is all the fluid power technology. In mining of coals, these machines are being used, which uses the fluid power technology. In machine tools applications, nowadays, the wrenches, the tools, machine tools that you will be using for sophisticated machinings, they uses this fluid power technology. In flight control, aircrafts, जो भी फ्लाइट से गए होंगे, आप देखेंगे उसका विंग्स जो है ऑटोमेटिकली ओपन एंड क्लोज होता है. लैंडिंग के टाइम में the wheels come out of the aeroplane. That is all with the help of fluid power. These wheelchairs in food and processing industries, in aerospace, everywhere you will find this fluid power. This has completely replaced the mechanical system. But I am damn sure, मैं पूरी श्योरिटी के साथ बोल सकता हूँ कि बहुत लोगों में से बहुत लोगों को नहीं पता होगा कि ये सारे एप्लीकेशंस में फ्लूइड पावर का इतना बड़ा रोल है. बट आप ध्यान से स्टडी करेंगे आफ्टर दिस सेशन, आप जाके देखेंगे कोई भी ऐसा सिस्टम नहीं है जहां पे फ्लूइड पावर टेक्नोलॉजी जो है वो यूज नहीं हो रहा है. हर एक जगह फ्लूइड पावर आज के डेट में यूज हो रहा है. Just a minute, I'm sharing again. So, what are the basic fluid power components that we are talking about? So, जब भी कोई भी फ्लूइड पावर सिस्टम में वहां पे एक रिजर्वायर होता है, दैट इज रिसीवर. वो हाइड्रोलिक टैंक होता है विच स्टोर्स द फ्लूइड. मैं पिक्चर्स में भी दिखलाऊंगा आप लोगों को. Is my screen changing?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, please. Then, to transfer the fluid, you are having fluid conductors, pipes, tubes, or hoses. These are basically the transport medium. Then, from where you will provide the power, that is pumps and the compressors. These pumps basically converts the mechanical power to fluid power. सभी के घर में पंप लगा होगा. आप सभी के घर में पानी की टंकी होगी, इन सभी के घर में पंप लगा होगा. प्रिंसिपल पंप का काम करने का वही है जो कि फ्लूइड पावर में है. बस डिफरेंस ये है कि आपके घर में जो पंप लगा हुआ है दैट इज योर सेंट्रीफ्यूगल पंप. उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं नॉन पॉजिटिव डिस्प्लेसमेंट पंप्स. और the pump which I am talking about, these are positive displacement pumps like gear pumps, axial piston pumps. बहुत लोग पंप्स के बारे में जानते भी होंगे. And then the valves. Our heart is also a pump. It pumps the fluid. अभी आप पूरा हाइड्रोलिक सिस्टम को समझना चाहते हैं तो आप अपने बॉडी के थ्रू समझ सकते हैं. Your heart is your pump. Now how it is, what the pump is, your heart is doing, it is transporting the blood. Here the blood is your fluid, the hydraulic fluid. How it is transporting the blood? Blood को कैसे transport कर रहा है? With the help of arteries and veins. That is your hose pipes, the fluid conductors. And what is the role the valve is playing? SMP. You are having in your heart. So this is how this hydraulic system works, like your body pumps works. Then the actuators. Now ये सारे काम हो गए, but जहां पे हमको काम लेना है, स्टीयरिंग करना है, ब्रेक लगाना है, मेटल्स को प्रेस करना है, फोर्जिंग इंडस्ट्री में, forging press industries, there comes the role of the actuators, and these actuators converts the fluid power into the mechanical power. So पंप मैकेनिकल पावर को फ्लूइड में कन्वर्ट किया और एक्चुएटर फ्लूइड पावर को मैकेनिकल पावर में कन्वर्ट किया. सो पूरा जो फ्लूइड पावर का सिस्टम है, सभी लोगों ने पास्कल्स लॉ जरूर पढ़ा होगा. ऑल ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव रेड दिस पास्कल्स लॉ. सो शत्रुघ्न, am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Pascal's law is. Can you please tell me what this Pascal's law is? Mathalal, am I audible? Anybody of you? Anybody of you? Any participants? Can anybody tell me? This is the simple law. जितने भी हम फ्लूइड देखते हैं वहां पे पास्कल्स लॉ का हर जगह यूज होता है. अनुराग बनते?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Are you audible, sir?
Who is this?
Aniruddha Ghosh, sir.
Yes, please. Please tell me.
The Pascal law. Actually,
Yes.
sir,
What is
Pascal
this
law.
Pascal law?
पास्कल लॉ कहता है सर, कोई अगर क्लोज जगह पे कोई हम फ्लूइड रखेंगे तो उसके कोई भी हम एक जगह पे अगर कोई प्रेशर डालेंगे तो वो प्रेशर चारों ओर एकदम मतलब इक्वल प्रेशर डालेगा.
Very good. Very good. So, Anurag Bante, you there?
No, sir, Aniruddha Ghosh.
Yes, yes, Anirudh Ghosh. I am now. Thank you, Anirudh Ghosh.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, शुभ्यांशु. देखिए हम तो जबरदस्ती सबको बुलवाएंगे, सोने नहीं देंगे हम किसी को पूरे सेशन में. शुभ्यांशु सिंह. Anybody else?
Hello.
Yes, शत्रुघ्न.
Yes, sir. Sir, in any enclosed container, when we are
अभी हम दूसरा क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हैं.
okay, yes, sir.
पास्कल्स लॉ को अनिरुद्ध जी ने डिफाइन कर दिया है. You tell me where it is being applied. What is the important critical significance of this Pascal's law? Tell me. What you
So
are
in
going to get?
So in hydraulic jack, while lifting cars, we are using the Pascal law to lift that car there.
Exactly, exactly. This fluid power, thank you so much. Now you can mute yourself. This fluid power is used to magnify the forces which is done with the help of Pascal's law. Pascal's law ये बोलता है simply that if you are having fluid stored in a closed container, with the application of a simple force, very small force, you are going to get a very large amount of force. जैसे लीवर काम करता है हमारा, मैकेनिकल लीवर का ही प्रिंसिपल फ्लूइड में हम डाल दिए, बट एडवांटेज लो पावर टू वेट, हाई पावर टू वेट रेशियो. सो एनर्जी जो ट्रांसफर होता है बीच में, जितने भी अभी हमने फ्लूइड पाइप्स, कंडक्टर, पंप्स सभी कुछ देखे, वो बीच में एनर्जी ट्रांसफर के लिए काम आता है. तो इनपुट इज प्राइम मूवर, दैट इज योर इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर. भैया बिजली के बिना तो कुछ नहीं चलने वाला है. टू बी वेरी फ्रैंक, वी नीड टू हैव इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, द इलेक्ट्रिकल पावर टू रन ईच एंड एवरीथिंग. Because of this electrical power, I could not have delivered the lecture today. But fortunately, my business helped me to get the power. So, the prime mover is the input source and the output is your actuator. In between, you may find valves, pumps, and other accessories to transfer the energy. Now, the simplest schematic that I am going to show you, this is the simplest fluid power system. Can anybody tell me, आप इस फिगर से क्या समझ रहे हैं? आउटपुट क्या मिलने वाला है इस फिगर से? श्रेयांश जी, श्रेयांश, सुयस, अनुपम पाल, anybody of you, कोई भी पार्टिसिपेंट बोल सकते हैं. What is the output? आपको इस सिस्टम से आउटपुट क्या मिलने वाला है? Can anybody tell me?
Sir, crushing of a
Valve is actuator is open. Sir.
हाँ बोलिए प्लीज.
Sir,
Yes, sir,
actuator
sir.
is open. Sir. Yeah, please आप कुछ अभिजीत जी बोल दीजिए आप कुछ.
इसको कहते हैं बिजनेस कॉम्पिटिटर्स. दिस वे यू हैव टू फाइट विथ ईच अदर. यू शुड नॉट हैव स्टॉप. बिजनेस में आगे बढ़ना है, देन यू हैव टू कॉम्पीट योरसेल्फ. ओके अभिजीत जी बताइए. अभिजीत सरकार साहब बताइए. अच्छा, और कौन बोल रहे थे वो बताइए प्लीज.
Sir, the actuator will be on a open position and the fluid will move basically.
टीवी में देखते होंगे, नई नई कार आई है तो क्रैश टेस्ट होता है. सुनते हैं ना कि क्रैश टेस्ट में फेल कर गया. सिस्टम क्रैश, ये जो कार का मॉडल क्रैश टेस्ट में फेल कर गया। ये जो हम लोग कर रहे हैं क्रैश टेस्ट, हमने कार को लगाया हुआ है, दिस इज द क्रैश टेस्ट। एक वन सिंपल फॉर्म ऑफ अनदर फॉर्म ऑफ क्रैश टेस्ट एक होता है कि कार को हाई स्पीड में जाके किसी भी ऑब्स्टेकल के साथ उसको टकरा दिए, एंड दिस इज की फोर्स लगाने पे कार किस लेवल तक क्रैश कर सकता है। इसमें अगर आप देखेंगे इस पूरे हाइड्रोलिक सिस्टम में हमारे पास एक इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर है, देन यू आर हैविंग वन पंप, देन दीज आर दी वॉल्व्स, this is also a valve, this is known as डायरेक्शन कंट्रोल वाल्व। ये फ्लूइड का डायरेक्शन को कंट्रोल करता है। और ये हाइड्रोलिक सिलेंडर है। हाइड्रोलिक सिलेंडर में बहुत लोग हाइड्रोलिक सिलेंडर के बारे में जानते होंगे। एंड फ्रॉम दिस ये पंप क्या जनरेट कर रहा है, हाइड्रोलिक पावर जनरेट कर रहा है। इलेक्ट्रिकल पावर इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर से कन्वर्टेड इनटू मैकेनिकल पावर एट द शाफ्ट, मैकेनिकल पावर को कन्वर्ट कर रहा है ये पंप हाइड्रोलिक पावर में, और वाल्व जो है ये डायरेक्शन डिसाइड कर रहा है फ्लूइड का फ्लो का, और ये जो हाइड्रोलिक पावर है ये फाइनली मैकेनिकल पावर में कन्वर्ट हो रहा है टॉर्क और फोर्स के रूप में। यहाँ पे लीनियर मोशन है इसलिए फोर्स होगा। अगर हाइड्रोलिक मोटर यूज करते हैं, जैसे पंखे में, हर एक के घर में पंखा होगा, वहां पे हाइड्रोलिक मोटर यूज करते हैं, वहां पे मोटर यूज इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर यूज करते हैं, हाइड्रोलिक मोटर इज इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर। तो वो क्या होता है, रोटरी मोशन एक्टिवेट करता है। जो रेड दिखा रहा है यहाँ पे लाइट, द रेड लाइन दैट यू आर सीइंग, इट इज द प्रेशराइज्ड फ्लूइड, and this is non-pressurized fluid which is going back to the tank, and this is your tank. अभी एक एक सिस्टम ये दिस एक्चुएटर, इसमें मैं कलर में आई हैव द कलर, so this is your actuator, this is the direction control valve, then you are having this flow control, this controls the flow, कितना amount of flow चाहिए, कितना वॉल्यूम ऑफ फ्लूइड चाहिए, 10 LPM 15 LPM, that controls by this flow control valve. This is your filter, दिस इज योर सेफ्टी वाल्व। प्रेशर कुकर में जो सेफ्टी वाल्व होता है ना, कि प्रेशर अगर बढ़ेगा तो पहले सेफ्टी वाल्व ब्लास्ट होगा, नहीं तो अगर आप सेफ्टी नहीं लगाते हैं तो पूरा का पूरा प्रेशर कुकर भी फट सकता है। दिस इज योर सेफ्टी वाल्व। इफ द सिस्टम प्रेशर विल इंक्रीज, देन दिस वाल्व विल फर्स्ट बर्स्ट और इट विल रिलीज द फ्लूइड, अंडरस्टूड। देन द पंप, the heart of this particular system, which is pumping the fluid, then the electric motor, and symbolically this pure total system is represented like this: electric motor, pump, safety valve, filter जो normal filters to filters the fluid, flow control valve which controls the amount of flow, कितना flow करना चाहिए वो control करता है, ये valve direction control करता है, and this produces the force. So this is your simple hydraulic system, and physically it will look like this. अगर आप सिस्टम देखें तो फिजिकल सिस्टम। Now, before moving forward, the business part, let us have a quick test, and please message me in the inbox. Let us see how many of you have understood the basic concept. उसके पास हम लोग, उसके बाद जब टेक्निकल क्वालिफिकेशन आप लोगों को हो जाएगा तो फिर रुपया पैसा का बात करेंगे हम लोग। We will move into the business perspective, right? So actually this fluid power is total of 90 classes. It can be covered in 2 semesters, but I have tried to brief this fluid power into simpler slides, so that you can have a basic understanding about the fluid power, what this is and why it is so much important. So let us have a quick test among ourselves. What is fluid power? It is hydraulic and pneumatics, or the mechanical system, or the tide power or mid-sex, all are providing power. बोलते हैं ना दूध पीने से शक्ति आती है। What is fluid power? Please, all of you can message me in the chat box. Please, let's participate. You are all young innovators, young entrepreneurs. Let us have participation from your side. Matanlal, Vishal Sinha, hydraulics and pneumatics. Yes, I'm getting hydraulics and pneumatics. Very good. That's great. Hydraulics and pneumatics, Saswat Srivastava. So this fluid power is nothing but this is your hydraulics and pneumatics. Wait. Then what is power transmission? Please message. Let us message this. Yes, all of you have understood. I am very happy. थोड़ा समझा पाया मैं. सभी लोगों ने हाइड्रोलिक्स और न्यूमेटिक्स लिखा है. What is power transmission? बनाना खाने से भी पावर ट्रांसमिट होता है ना, एनर्जी आ जाती है. थक क्या बनाना खाओ एकदम ताकत आ जाएगा, है ना. तो व्हाट इज दिस पावर ट्रांसमिशन? Is it hydraulics and pneumatics, or energy is transferred from a source to a sink or another? Energy is taken from a source. Very good. Energy is transferred from a source to another. That's great. For my students, I'm not going to give you any marks because you have already been taught the subject. Yes, energy is transferred from a source to another. Very good. That's great. That's great. हम लोग गियर से भी एनर्जी ट्रांसमिट करते हैं, हम लोग इलेक्ट्रिक मोटर से भी ट्रांसमिट करते हैं, बट फ्लूइड पावर से जो एनर्जी ट्रांसमिट करते हैं, that is very efficient, very accurate, very precise. That's great. Pneumatic use gas instead of liquids. True or false? In pneumatics, you are using gas instead of liquids. Is it true or false? True. 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 Very good. Very good. Very good. So last two questions with you all. What is the most fundamental principle in fluid power? Is it Newton's law, Pascal's law, Gauss' law, or David's law? All of you, let us participate. All of you, please message Pascal's law. Very good. Pascal's law. Is it really? Then what is Gauss' law? Pascal's law. That's great. करो ताजा चीजें याद रहता है दिमाग में, है ना? I'm not able to change my slide. I don't know why. No issue. Whatever background you are having, whether you are from social background, business, I will tell you that also. If you are from a social background, then also I will tell you that how you can improvise yourself in the tech-savvy business. Now, this is the last question. Out of this figure, which will give the highest output? Which will give the highest output force? Fast. I'll just give 5 seconds. Fast. 2 or 1 or 1 or 2. Okay, Sumit, can you tell me why 2?
Yes, sir. Because of the area of contact in A to B, in B is maximum.
तो नहीं है भैया यहाँ कहीं पे भी.
फ्लूइड से जो एरिया का कांटेक्ट है बी में ज्यादा होगा, इस कारण एफर्ट ज्यादा मिलेगा बी साइड फिगर 2 में.
Can you please tell me?
Sir, I am not getting your voice.
Yes. Why it is number 2?
Because I am applying little effort on A sides in figure 2.
Simple सा concept. Yes, you are right. Simple सा concept है. अभी पासवर्ड में बताया था.
That on that working hydraulic press.
Yes. This is a simple process. Okay. So 2 will give you maximum output क्योंकि प्रेशर जो है दोनों तरफ सेम है. एरिया जिधर ज्यादा होगा उधर आउटपुट ज्यादा मिलेगा आपको. इन दोनों में एरिया साइड में ज्यादा है इधर आपको आउटपुट ज्यादा मिलेगा। दिस इज व्हाट ऑल फ्लूइड पावर इज बेस्ड ऑन। ओके, तो बहुत टेक्निकल खेल लिए हम लोग। नाउ लेट अस मूव ऑन टू द पैसा पार्ट। So why it is known as uncapped business, and what are the different business opportunities that you can be a millionaire in this particular business? I tell you few of the names who have been from zero to millionaire moved to this particular business. You see, this hydraulics is being a very underrated part. Everywhere it is being used. But in India, how many companies you will be knowing about this hydraulics? It is still seen as dinosaur by many users. But there are many young graduates who are studying this particular part, जो इस चीजों को समझते हैं, hydraulics की importance को समझते हैं. But आज के डेट में ट्रेंड है, graduate हुए, let us start with the digital business ideas. And benefits you are getting also. I'm not telling that that is very bad. You are getting the benefit in that. But अगर सभी लोग digital trend की तरफ ही जाएंगे, then what will happen to these poor businesses? Because your machine needs to run. किसी भी system को run करने के लिए you need to have the motive power, muscle power. Then, in figurative sense, your desire should be good unicorn. Even this dinosaur, I saw the picture which is made of these hydraulic components. But I have not found any unicorn picture with this hydraulic type of system. I found a dinosaur, but not the unicorn. ये बनाने वाला हमको मिल गया. So I expect my participants to be a unicorn in this particular business, and business relates to all these fields. Wherever you want to proceed, you have a golden opportunity. So now this is the right time for the recruits or the innovators or the entrepreneurs to have your idea to make this hydraulics, to have a transition from dinosaur to the biggest advantageous portion to the golden unicorn, to make a lot money out of this. Now, how can hydraulics technology transit this image to the new world? Can anybody of you tell me? बहुत लोग इसमें innovators हो सकते हैं. What can be your idea? I'll just take 15 to 20 minutes more of you. How can this hydraulic technology transition its image to the new world? What change can you provide? How can it relate to the business? Anybody of you? Young graduates?
Sir, the hydraulic technologies require like process fluids, like oil, right? So if you have an ecosystem wherein one can become a supplier of oil, or a hydraulic system require machines, like, you know, the material is like steel and carbon steel, mild steels. So all things are very heavy equipments. So to create such ecosystem, we need to have a better supply and better capability, core competency, which countries like Germany have. That's why in our country, most of the dairy plant, be it in villages, if dairy plant is coming, it will have a separator from alpha level, Gia, Tetra Pak, and no more we will find any Indian companies. So whether it is packaging or anything, so it's a need of the hours that that we need to change this status quo.
Exactly.
So,
very nice.
Yeah,
Very nice.
but we have to see,
Anybody
we have to
else?
work out a solution where
Yes.
the cost of the capital cost is huge to even start a small system. So the ecosystem which is there in countries like China is there, but we have to see how we can create it with the help of colleges.
Exactly.
And yeah. Thank you, sir.
Exactly. That I'll also try to tell you in just few seconds that how you can develop this ecosystem. Now, anybody else? Pointed out that how you can transit its image to the new world, rightly predicted that you should integrate new technologies, especially electronic control and electromechanical power transmission, because this is the era of digital technologies. So when you are integrating these new technologies, that's electronic control and electromechanical power transmission, it will definitely metamorph into a novel high-tech experience for the users. But rightly said that you need to have a very high developed ecosystem. Does it require always? Let us see. Basically, as pointed out by some of you, that it is a complex entity and you need to have a very large structure. You need to have a complex sales and distribution system that I have also mentioned here in the slides. You need to have information and components concerning service, new and improved component design system applications. But the major driving force is the understanding of the business of this hydraulics. And for this understanding, you need to be trained in the area of fluid power. Until and unless you don't know the importance of anything, you cannot be a business tech or business savvy in this particular field. जब तक एडवर्टीजमेंट नहीं करते हमको पता चलता है कि कौन सा साबुन मार्केट में आया है. नया एडवर्टीजमेंट, कोई भी नया डीओ आता है, एडवर्टीजमेंट होता है, तब पता चलता है, तुरंत खरीदने चले जाते हैं. हमको पता भी नहीं है कि हाउ इट इज बीइंग यूज्ड. वी यूज टू ट्राई, we try it first time, then we find it as useful, then we purchase, then we get a habit of purchasing that. But in hydraulics, in technical fields, if you want to start your business, whatever technical field it may be, whether it is hydraulics or it may be anything else, you need to have a proper understanding of the subject. अभी आप देखेंगे जितने भी बड़ी बड़ी कंपनीज हैं, वो है टेक्समीन है, एक्स्ट्रा है, और whatever it may be, एमको एलेकॉन, इंजीनियरिंग ग्रेजुएट्स को उठा के सेल्स मार्केटिंग में रखते हैं. डू नो व्हाट इज द रीजन? एक कंपनी का सबसे बड़ा जो बिजनेस होता है, जो पॉलिसी होता है, दैट इज द मार्केटिंग ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट. अब प्रोडक्ट को मार्केटिंग के लिए हार्पिक तो बेचना है नहीं. ये कंपनी बना के दे दिया, आप डोर टू डोर उसको जाके सेल कर दिए. इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. यू हैव टू सेल द मशीन, यू हैव टू सेल द कंपोनेंट्स. सो अभी आईआईटी से, एनआईटी से, कॉलेजेस, इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस से, प्राइवेट कॉलेज, पब्लिक कॉलेज, व्हाटएवर इट मे बी, उठा के इंजीनियरिंग ग्रेजुएट्स को ले जाके सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग में डाल देते हैं. बड़ी बड़ी कंपनी. हमारे यहाँ से बहुत सारे कॉलेजेस, हमारे यहाँ से लड़कों को उठा के सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग में डालते. क्यों? क्योंकि जो जानते हैं चीजों को, जो समझते हैं चीजों को, वो ज्यादा बेटर तरीके से उसको मार्केट कर पाएंगे. तो चीजों को मार्केटिंग करने के लिए आपको चीजों को समझना ज्यादा जरूरी है, बकाए कि आप उसको बिना समझे उसको मार्केट कर रहे हैं. सो कोई भी टेक्निकल बिजनेस है, यू नीड टू हैव अ टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड फॉर दिस. उसके लिए आपको सबसे पहले बिजनेस स्टार्ट करते हैं, यू नीड टू हायर द पर्सन्स रिलेटेड टू दैट. For your information, I'm a faculty here. I am going to start a business in this hydraulics by the name of Navax Technovation Private Limited. Do you know who are the partners of my companies? It is in the process page. I have just going to start this particular business in the area of hydraulics. Who are the partners? One from the hydraulics company based in Hyderabad. One is having around 30 years, 40 years of experience by having hands-on training in the field of hydraulics, and another is mine. I have this knowledge, the basic research idea, the basic conceptual idea of hydraulics. Unless I don't have any idea, I cannot trust this particular field. So if you want to start the business in any tech savings part, you need to have a knowledge of that particular business. Am I right or not? Am I right or not? Tell me. You can make me wrong also. So there are different business ideas. That's why I want to share with you very precisely. Starting a hydraulic business. Everywhere where there is a hydraulic systems, every industry there is a hydraulic system. Every industry you talk about, they need to have the tools for precise and efficient operation. So you can start a hydraulic fluid business that doesn't require very large infrastructure. Starting a hydraulic equipment and supply services and repair business, for that you need to have the technical background of these hydraulic systems. These are your hydraulic tools. Starting a repair business for hydraulic jacks or hydraulic components. Microtech agencies is there in Dhanbad. What are they doing? They are simply maintaining and repairing the business, and they have been risen to a great level. You can starting a hydraulic hose and fitting business everywhere. You do you know these hydraulic hoses are the most weak part of any hydraulic system. सबसे पहले यही fail करता है. And there is a huge requirement of trained manpower in this. आप company start करके manpower hire कीजिए और hydraulic hose के business में लगा दीजिए. You will get to know that how much profitable this business is. Starting a consultancy firm to offer integrated technical consultancy services. आप एक company establish कीजिए. You hire the persons related to these hydraulics. You can start integrated technical consultancy services to train manpower to serve the industries. These are the various businesses which are lacking in this particular field. हमें एक ढंग का, even in our system, our is having a very advanced lab of fluid power, but we don't get the technical manpower. हमें खुद से सारा काम करना पड़ता है. We need to have a scaled up business for this particular hydraulic system that can give you a large revenue, very huge revenue. I'm telling you. So, how to do this? From a business ownership perspective, you are going to start a business. You need to evaluate competitors for any business. Don't ever ignore the competition. Learning more about the industry. What are the different industries which are participating in this particular system, in the hydraulic system? So you need to learn from others who are already in this space. कभी भी ये नहीं समझना चाहिए कि उसके पास है, हम जाएंगे पूछेंगे, हमको किसी समझ नहीं आएगी. If I am having the knowledge of this business in the hydraulics or in any technical business, you can come and ask from me, because you are learning from the space. Business brokers, hydraulic business entrepreneurs, you need to have a good source of advice. From where you can get? From the persons who are having the knowledge of this particular system, where you can implement, how you can implement, how you can move ahead. That is what we call it as the business brokerage for hydraulic business entrepreneurs. And many of us, we don't look for the franchising. I'm just giving you a simple example. Gold Practice Institute in Dhanbad, it was a franchise institute. But nowadays, this has a greater level. So if you are getting a chance of franchising, you please move ahead. What will be the benefit that you will get out of this? You will have the leverage of their successful brand and the track record, and the best part is you will get to know how these successful entrepreneurs in this particular field have risen to a greater level. You need to understand. एक बार आप सीख लेंगे, then you can move apart and start your own business in this particular area. So what are the different markets? Globally, you will find Bosch Rexroth. Many of you must be knowing. Parker Hannifin, UK Kogyo, Eaton, Daikin Industries, Kawasaki Heavy Industries. These are the global industries which are pioneer in fluid power market. But these are very large industries. But now they are large. Initially, they were not large. They started with a very small business, like fabricating a small part, like providing consultancy services. But now if you see the turnover of these companies, you will see that these are the biggest companies nowadays in the food sector, because this hydraulics is everywhere around the globe. Space may be there, you need to have the hydraulics. And in the national sectors in India, many of you must be knowing about N. Huswarian company. कभी आप visit कीजिएगा कोलकाता में जाके. I have personally visited and I have purchased for my lab works many components from N. Husnelli. I remember 10 years back when I was a student in ITISM Dhanbad, for my project work, I was sent by my guide and I visited this place. I'm telling you, it was a very small shop. Very small shop. And now, if you visit an Husnalian company, you can see in the website also, the company has become too large just in 10 years. They have hired persons, they are providing technical services, they are having engineering graduates in this particular field. They have risen to a greater level, I am telling you, in just 10 years. If they could have thought that I cannot start a business in technical services, they could not have risen to a greater level. And they are providing services, components, systems, equipment to industries and academia nowadays. This is one of the famous companies based in Kolkata, and Husnalian company. Hydro Lab Fabs of Bengaluru. It was started by an engineering graduate. He was a mechanical engineering graduate. Hydraulics के बारे में इसको कुछ नहीं पता था. And he had got the idea behind that. Indian Pneumatic and Hydraulic Company, Mumbai. Hydromac Hydraulics, Sky Loop System, Pune. Global Hydraulics, Pune. Turbo Hydraulics, Ahmedabad. TS Enterprises, Ludhiana. These are some of the companies. So what I expect after this session, that Satrughat, Mr. Anirudh, and Pranav, Prashant, Gaurav, I want to see your name like Gaurav Bhardwaj and Company Limited in Hydraulics, Prashant companies, and whatever it may be. Because this is the sector where you have two advantages. One, you are getting the knowledge of the technicality and you are earning money. आप टेक्निकली भी अपने आप को ग्रो कर रहे हैं, आप पैसे से भी अपने आप को ग्रो कर रहे हैं. So you are balancing your life in a better way. So with this, the last part of this particular session, I will start with three questions. The process of designing, launching, and running a new business, which typically begins as a small business, is entrepreneurship or creativity. Please message. अगर हम किसी बिजनेस को डिजाइन करते, प्रोसेस को लॉन्च करते और रन करते हैं, this typically begins as a small business. Is it an entrepreneurship or creativity? Entrepreneurship. Both. How both? Mr. Nilotpal, can you please tell me how both? Can you please elaborate on this? Creativity is not about the launching of a business. Creativity is the critical thinking that you are going to develop in your mind for starting a business. When the system, this creativity can be the process of designing. It cannot be your process of launching or running. It can be your process of designing, but if you're combining these three, it is basically your entrepreneurship. Just a second. Okay, one of the entrepreneur benefits is that they work harder, being on a call 24/7, create their own destiny. What is this? Is very accommodating part. So very good. From the host, I'm also getting the answers. That's great. So obviously, you are creating your own business. Work harder, बिना hard work किए हुए तो कुछ मिलता नहीं आज के डेट में. You are not going to get anything. And the last question, sorry, I don't know what I am getting the problem. Men are twice as unlikely to start a business as women. It is true, is it true or false? Men are twice as unlikely to start a business as women. This is an interesting question. Men are twice as unlikely to start a business in Oman. Those who will be answering, they have to explain also. False. Why so? Why it is false? You need to tell me.
So, yes, sir. I think the passion or intention to start a business or being entrepreneur doesn't depends on gender. I mean, it depends on the mentality, attitude, and commitment, and on
Very
dream.
good.
So that's why.
Very good. If you are a man or you are a woman, it was an absurd question actually. It depends upon your mentality, your जो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना हमारे अंदर में जो ललक है चीजों को सीखने की आगे बढ़ने की वो मेंटलिटी वो एटीट्यूड जब तक नहीं आएगा आप मेन हो वुमन हो बहुत बड़े ग्रेजुएट हो क्या जरूरी है कि हर एक ग्रेजुएट से एक एंटरप्रेन्योर ही बनता है नो इट इज ओनली द पैशन बीनीथ यू दैट मेक्स यू द एंटरप्रेन्योर सो to have that passion, you need to have an innovative education and educating for innovation. Until and unless you are not innovating your education, how to innovate your education? To have the know-how of each and everything for going to start your business. And after that, for the innovation that is going to grow, you need to educate yourself for that particular innovation. So with these words, thank you so much for patiently hearing to my session today, and I hope it would have benefited you. And I would like to definitely see all of you, few of you, or many of you to have a business in this particular uncapped area. And I'm guarantee, I can assure you that this is one business where you are having very less competitors and you can grow very hard. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please go ahead.
Participants, if you have any question, you may ask. So,
If anybody is having any question, please go ahead.
I request everyone. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, this is Vivek, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, the presentation was quite good, but one question from my end. सर अभी क्या होता है जैसे बहुत सारे स्टार्टअप्स को देखते हैं वो ज़्यादातर यूथ हमेशा टारगेट करती है आईटी कंपनीज को और सिंपल इन्वायरमेंट को लेकर के काम करती है बहुत सारे यूथ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को लेकर नहीं करते हैं सर उनको सर वो उनके दिमाग पे एक रिस्क रहता है हमेशा कि वो रिस्क का सक्सेस होंगे कि नहीं मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एरियाज में तो सर कैसे उस रिस्क को मिटिगेट किया जाए कैसे उस रिस्क को हटाया जाए और कैसे यूथ उस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में भी एंटर कर सकता है क्योंकि सर बहुत यूथ मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की तरफ जाना नहीं चाहते और स्टार्टअप भी नहीं खोलना चाहते तो आपने बहुत अच्छा टॉपिक उठाया एक जो फ्लूइड का आपने जो पावर के बताया ये काफी इंटरेस्टिंग एरिया है सर बट यूथ कभी ट्राई नहीं करता मैन्युफैक्चरिंग साइड जाने का सर तो कैसे उससे उस रिस्क को हटाया जाए सर
अंडरस्टूड एंड वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट मैं डिस्कस कर रहा था इसी चीज को मैं डिस्कस कर रहा था कि अभी क्या होता है जो भी यंग रिक्रूट्स आते हैं उनका इश्यू होता है कोडिंग सीखेंगे और बाहर सीधा से सीधा एक बिजनेस स्टार्ट करेंगे जो डिजिटल रिलेटेड बिजनेस हो बट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की तरफ बहुत कम लोग जाना चाहते हैं इसका दो रीजन पहला रीजन तो ये होता है कि यू नीड टू हैव अ वाइडर प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर स्टार्टिंग अभी क्या है एक ऐप बनाने के लिए आपको कोई बहुत बड़ा मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब नहीं चाहिए एरिया इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं चाहिए एरिया चाहिए लेकिन एक ऐप बनाने जाते हैं तो उसको आप मोबाइल में बना सकते हैं इजीली बाय यूजिंग कोडिंग लेकिन this is not only that you are going to start with that much greater amount of infrastructure that you are having. You can start with a small part that I was telling about. Like मैंने एग्जाम्पल दिया ना एन हुसनैली का एन हुसनैली पता है बिजनेस कैसे स्टार्ट किया था एन हुसनैली ने अपने आप को फ्लूइड पावर ही वाज एन इंजीनियरिंग ग्रेजुएट and he developed his skill towards this power technology and he started with small business. A small business means he has interacted with the academia and the industries and he started providing the solutions. उन्होंने सॉल्यूशन, बिकॉज फ्लूइड पावर एक ऐसा है, या कोई भी आप स्मार्ट या मैन्युफैक्चरिंग की तरफ जाते हैं, बहुत सारे ऐसे एरियाज होते हैं जो अनटच्ड होते हैं, जिसमें आपको बहुत स्किल्ड मैन पावर नहीं मिलेंगे। तो उसने इस चीज को पहचाना, दैट इज व्हाट रिक्वायर्ड द मार्केट सर्वे। तो उसने उस एरिया को पहचाना, जाके धीरे धीरे क्या academia industries में he started to give small services. Microtech agency, Mr. Bhakti Prasad Mukherjee, what he is doing, he is having knowledge in fluid power, he is giving business, he is giving consultancy, he is giving his service to the industry and academia in the area of fluid power, and now he has established his own business. तो बिजनेस पैसा से पैसा बनता है एंड नॉलेज से नॉलेज बढ़ता है। तो आप स्टार्ट मत कीजिए ना, आपके पास तो कोई भी, आप किसी भी बिजनेस को देख लीजिए, टाटा को ही देख लीजिए, आज टाटा कितना ऊपर है, लेकिन टाटा जब स्टार्ट किया था तो टाटा के पास क्या पूरा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर था? नहीं था। बट टाटा को 50-60 साल लग गए, एयर हुसैन अली को 10 साल ही लगा। ये स्टार्ट विद ए स्मॉल बिजनेस। रिस्क की जो बात आती है, रिस्क इसलिए आती है ना, क्योंकि आपके पास एक टीम जो बनता है, वो टीम ऐसा होना चाहिए कि वो टीम जो टेक सेवी हो, उनको टेक्निकलिटी के बारे में पता है, कि उनको हर एक नो हाउस पता है। आप जब तक आपके पास स्ट्रॉन्ग टेक्निकल टीम नहीं रहेगी, आप टेक बिजनेस स्टार्ट नहीं कर सकते हैं। You need to have a strong technical background for this particular system. तो एक टेक्निकल टीम स्ट्रांग होनी चाहिए। आप 2-3 से स्टार्ट करें। जैसे मैं जो अपना हाइड्रोलिक्स का कंपनी जो स्टार्ट करने की सोच रहा हूँ, जो स्टार्ट करने वाला हूँ, उसमें हमारे जो तीनों पार्टनर्स, वी ऑल आर टेक्निकली साउंड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया। So we know that how we can take the risk, where we can strike hard. So this is what we can proceed further. And रही रिस्क की बात, तो भैया रिस्क हर जगह है। आप कोई भी बिजनेस कीजिए, वो डर तो है, लेकिन डर के आगे जीत है। इस चीज को याद रखिए। आई होप इट इज क्लियर। Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are.
So one question is, what is the initial stage to start a business? किसी भी चीज के लिए कोई इनिशियल स्टेज नहीं होता है। यू कैन स्टार्ट अ बिजनेस एनी टाइम। यू कैन स्टार्ट थिंकिंग ऑफ ए बिजनेस बाय ट्रेवलिंग इन योर कार, बाय लिसनिंग टू ए म्यूजिक। सिंपल इज you should have that passion, you should have that attitude, and you should have that risk taking capability. अब जहां ये सोच के कोई काम करते हैं ना कि हम ये काम स्टार्ट करेंगे और मेरा काम फेल कर, आप जहां ये सोच के स्टार्ट करेंगे कि मैं ये काम स्टार्ट करने जा रहा हूं, एंड आई एम गोइंग टू लर्न फ्रॉम दिस बिजनेस, एंड आई एम गोइंग टू सर्व दिस सोसाइटी थ्रू दिस बिजनेस, वहां पे आपका रिस्क फैक्टर कम हो जाता है। और वही स्टेज होता है आपके स्टार्ट करने के लिए। तो वो तो हुआ स्टेज। दूसरा ये है कि आप कोई भी बिजनेस को स्टार्ट करते हैं ना, तो सबसे पहले हम एक पेपर भी लिखते हैं ना, तो हम पेपर लिखने के पहले लिटरेचर सर्वे करते हैं। कम से कम 50 से 60 पेपर्स पढ़ते हैं, रिसर्च पेपर पढ़ते हैं। आप पैसा लगाने जा रहे हैं, अपने जेब से पैसा लगाने जा रहे हैं, आपको मार्केट सर्वे करना ही होगा। देयर इज नॉट एनी अदर ऑप्शन। यू हैव टू डू द प्रॉपर मार्केट सर्वे, you have to make a great team. This is the two requirements, this is the two stages where you are going to start your business. You do the market survey. आपका जो विजुअलाइजेशन होना चाहिए ना, वो ऐसा होना चाहिए कि हम ये जो स्टार्ट करने जा रहे हैं बिजनेस, ये बहुत बढ़िया होना चाहिए। आई एम गिविंग एन एग्जांपल। जब कोविड का केस आया था तो पेटीएम, how many of us have thought about this particular business? बोलना बहुत आसान है, आई एम सिटिंग हियर, आई कैन से एनीथिंग बिकॉज आई एम एट दिस प्लेटफॉर्म, बट सोचना और करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है। उसके लिए विजिबिलिटी होना चाहिए, तुम आपके अंदर में पैशन होना चाहिए बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने का। ओयो जो स्टार्ट हुआ था, ओयो, ओयो का फुल फॉर्म कितने लोग जानते हैं यहाँ पे? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो फुल फॉर्म ऑफ ओयो? OYO, ओन योर ऑनर, बी योर ओनर, ओन योर ओनर, ओनरशिप, ओन योर ओनरशिप। अब खुद को जब तक ओन नहीं करेंगे ना, आप बिजनेस क्या ओन कर सकते? तो ये anybody have any question? So I think Dr. Akanksha and It is familiar. There is not any question from the participant end.
Is there any more questions? Do you want to ask any more questions to sir? Sir is free to answer. Is anyone, Sanjeet, you have any query to sir?
No, ma'am. All are clear, ma'am.
So anyone else who wants to ask sir question? Okay, thank you very much, sir, for such a wonderful session. So I would request everyone to turn on their camera so that we can have a happy face photograph all together. Sir, please stop sharing your screen so that we can practice.
Okay.
I request everyone to turn on your camera, please, with a happy face.
অনিরুদ্ধ ঘোষ
All the other Hridayangel Private Limited, please turn on your camera.